Hey, it's time to Dish with D. That's me. Thank you for clicking on this video and making yourself a priority. I am Denise. It is Saturday, and Saturday is the day I go to the WW workshop in Turnersville, New Jersey, and I bring you the meeting topic du jour. We got a lot to cover here on this meeting topic. We got a lot to cover on this video because look what I got. If you didn't hear, Weight Watchers now has protein bars. Protein bars, did you say? I did. This is the chocolate fudge nut brownie, and this is the chocolate butterscotch bar. Both bars are 4 points and 20 grams of protein. They cost $8.99 for 4, which is standard. $2.25 a bar is not a bad price. We will take a look at them. We were going to taste both of them. My meeting did not give them out. They said they're not allowed because they're a pink workshop. What the hell that means? I don't know. They've given out stuff before, so I was a little bit surprised. But I purchased them so we can taste them because I've been asked, D, how do they taste? We want to know. You can order them on the WW app in the shop if you choose. And I know if you spend a certain amount, you get free shipping and stuff like that. So we'll taste them at the end of the video. So let's get on to the topic at hand. How did your weigh-in go? First of all, let's say how did our week go? Because it's not always about, and that's what this topic is about, all about the weigh-in. How did your week go? My week went pretty good. Was it perfect? No. They never are. But we had a holiday party over the weekend. I did indulge in some chocolate. I did. And some extra food. But all in all, I wiped out, what I did was I wiped out all my weeklies over the weekend, and I restarted from 0 on Monday. And I did build up quite a bit. Doing, like you said, you gain activity points through my Leslie Sansone videos. So I did build that little nest egg back up. Have no fear. So you can, and it's good to see the 0 because it makes you more mindful when you're eating it. You don't have these little things to fall back on, Denise. You need to really behave. So I did for the most part during the week. I really had a decent week. And when I stepped on the scale, I was the same. I was proud of that. Like I tell you all the time, I don't lose every week at this weight. You just don't. So, and that's what this is all about. How to create a weight tracking routine. So let's delve right into it. And we'll talk about the weigh-in and stuff like that. It'll all be in here. Ever forget to step on this scale? Maybe even on purpose? No, we don't forget to, come on. We don't forget to step on the scale. We're Weight Watcher people. We never forget to step on the scale. That was a little bit of a pun, I believe, because we are weight obsessed. It's the nature of the beast. We do well. We want to see results on that scale. Some weigh daily. That's, a personal preference. I used to weigh daily. It worked and it didn't work. It would work if I was, maybe the same, I would be more diligent. But if I was down, I would be a little loosey-goosey. And that was the problem for me. It's an all up here thing. I say this all the time. So it all depends if what I did suggest a while back is if you're a daily weigher, track your weight daily and then do a general number. Like if you get weighed 7 days, divide it by 7 and get a general number. Get the average. So that might be better for you than getting weighed once a week. On the average, what do I weigh this week? So that, because weight is a variable. Weight changes from minute to minute. You can get on that scale 5 minutes later, not had anything, and it'd be different. Fluids fluctuate in your body. It just does. If you look up, I'm 90% sure if you look up in the dictionary, weight will be called a variable, which is kind of like blood pressure. You can take your blood pressure and 5 minutes later it'll be a little bit different. So depending on how you stand on the scale, and these are, how the floor is, these scales aren't always set up perfectly. So it's hard to say that. Don't always worry about the scale because I know we do. But let's see what else WW has to say. Don't love how you feel before, during, or after you're weighing yourself? Answer these questions to help you map out a confidence-boosting, progress-fueling action plan. Try this. When and how often will you weigh yourself? Choose a frequency between once a day or once a week. If you're getting weighed multiple times a day, we need to talk. Pick a day, a time, and you can stick with, like the first thing in the morning. That's the most general way to sit there and say you're about the same. Are you always going to be the same? Now, it's a variable. So I think that's one of the things that helped me out was not always having to worry about whether that scale was going to be the be-all end-all of my journey. And if you're in the beginning of your journey, it's going to be. You're not at the place that I'm at. So I said that, at the meeting, I'm like, we're all at different stages, and you eventually realize that the scale doesn't define your week, doesn't define how you did, and doesn't define who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have done everything absolutely A plus, and that scale have a gain. And that's very frustrating. So you can't let that scale rule you. It's hard, I know, because that's the only true thing we have to judge our, that is what we judge. That's what we judge. True, false, that is how we judge. All right, number 2, how will you boost your confidence beforehand? Try reflecting on a non-scale victory since you last weighed in. Do your clothes fit better? Do you feel better? Have people complimented you on your weight loss? Pump yourself up with music or relax a few mindful deep breaths. And I said, there was a lady at my meeting, and I brought this up today. Last year, she said before she gets on the scale, she breathes deeply and she says, the scale will not the scale will not control me. The scale will only guide me. So basically, she's saying it's not the be-all end-all. It will not be in the control, and it's not the be-all end-all of your journey. You can't look at that scale as saying that's a reflection of your week, because it isn't always. Sometimes it is, but it isn't always. And that's a hard one, because sometimes it is and sometimes it's not. So it drives us a little bit batty, thinking, well, how do I think? Nope. How do I think? Because I just don't know sometimes. You have to know is, you have to go back and go over your week. Did you have the best week you could? You were never going to have perfect weeks. There are people out there that do, that live and breathe by, and there's us who just kind of have lifestyle. And sometimes things come up and it doesn't bug us. You can't let it bug you, because you don't want to be obsessed with this journey. You can't let it get bigger than it is. This is just a small part of your life. You have families, you have jobs, you have kids, you have fun things you want to do. This is just a small part of what you do. For me, it's a bigger part because this is what I do, but not for everybody. What will you say to yourself when you track your weight in the app? Put the number in perspective. The scale is just one measure. Very true. Considering encouraging words, I am strong, keep on keeping on. And I think it's hard when we haven't had a loss, like maybe we've stayed the same, and we do everything, we do all the exercising, and we gain. And that's one of the things I think a lot of people have problems with, is the exercise. I may be the only one that says this. I probably am. But exercise isn't always the answer. Sometimes too much exercise builds muscle, and muscle retains water. So when people say muscle weighs more than fat, a pound is a pound, I know. But muscle retains water. So that's why you see more gains when you have more muscle. It holds on to water. It's just what exercise does. So sometimes too much exercise isn't always good. That's why they tell you to have 1 day of exercise, 1 day of rest. 1 day of exercise, 1 day of rest. Not to be exercising consecutive days. It's not always good for your body. There are people out there that says, I exercise every day and it's great. Go for it. But they do say you should definitely have days off between. It's just good for your body to rest, to the muscles to recover. That's why I take that, when I do hardcore exercising, I take that muscle recovery from Motivate. That helps get my muscles back, I don't have a lot of joint muscle pain when I'm done with, I don't do a lot of hardcore. Let's get that out there straight. But there's times that I do work a lot more muscles, and I know if I'm putting weights on, you see me, maybe you don't. You don't doing a glam squat. Sometimes I use the weights on my wrists and my ankles. So yeah, I am feeling it. So I definitely feel that Motivate helps me. It's like a pre and pro workout, pre and post. So sometimes I'll take a little bit before, and I'll take the rest after. And I'm not that I'm here promoting that, but it definitely helps with muscle recovery. What health promoting action will you do afterwards? It can be as simple as drinking a glass of water or going for a short walk. Prep or pre-track your next meal. You can't dwell on what the scale says. Is that hard? Yeah. It is. But if you've had the best week you could, if you've done everything, that's all you have to be proud of that. I mean, I try to remind myself as how I used to eat. Like at the party, like, yeah, I know I didn't do that well at the party, but I thought, how did what I have done pre-WW at that party? Oh man, I'm telling you, it would have been 18,000 times worse. I had a small piece of key lime pie. I would have had a regular sized piece of key lime pie. I would have had all the chocolates. I didn't have any of the chocolates because I have chocolates here, so I wouldn't have chocolates there, but I would have had chocolates. I would have went back to have a second one of those little biscuit things that she made that had chicken, some kind of chicken. It was on a biscuit. I had one. I would have had at least another one of those. I would have went back for seconds, and I didn't. I had one plate. It wasn't full. I would have went back for seconds. I would have had way more desserts. So I definitely, and I would have had some alcohol. Old pre-WW days would have had some wine. There was a couple cream drinks. I would have indulged, but I went prepared. First time I've ever done it. I bought a big jug of unsweetened peach ginger tea. That's all I had, and that really was the key. And I need to do that every time I go to a party. That's my new thing. My jug with my peach ginger tea. I didn't feel like I was missing anything. I was enjoying my beverage. So yeah, I saved points right there. Old Denise would have had several. So look about the choices you make versus the choices you used to make. So you definitely have to be proud of yourself. And that scale isn't always going to give you what you expected to. It doesn't. We expected to have a loss every week. We expect, yeah, if only. I realized that towards the end of my journey, and I think that's what got me to goal, when I realized that I just need to do what I need to do, and I'll get there eventually. Baby steps get you to meet your goals. It might not happen in a month or 6 months, but it happens, and it happens at your pace, eating food that you love and eating the way you want to eat, not eating rabbit food, as I like to call it. Eating your meals, eating your snacks. I had a fantastic snack the other day. I think I posted on Instagram stories. I'm going to try to do some, in February, I'm going to start posting more reels on here because we're monetized for reels. So I will be posting a lot of reels here because why not? And I made a white cheddar rice cake. For 1 point, I put 2 tablespoons of cottage cheese. I used fat-free. You can use whatever you want. 2 small olives I diced. 1 or 2 sun-dried tomatoes I diced. A little cucumber and Greek seasoning. It was 1 point. It was phenomenal. And I need to eat more protein snacks like that. That was absolutely, that may be my new favorite thing. So thank you. I think it was Lynn that gave me that idea. It was fantastic. I haven't done a savory rice cake for a while. I have a couple on my channel under, I think, lunch recipes or snack. I think it was called Snack and Saturday. I think that's what I call the playlist. And I think I did a lot of dips like that. All right, write your own action plan. Back to the topic. Day and time and location, I'll weigh myself. Before I step on the scale, I will. When I track my weight, I will say to myself what I'll do right after weighing in. See, we have to track, well, if you're online only, you have to track your own weight. And you have to be honest. I mean, I don't know if people out there just don't track it. If you bite it, write it. If you weigh it, put it in there. It's sometimes it's hard to look at that number go up. I know. But know that with dedication and keep doing your plan, you'll see that number go down eventually. I promise you, you will. Let's dive a little deeper. Even if you want to step on that scale regularly, we get that. It's not always easy. Aside from simply forgetting, who forgets? That's the thing. No, but we don't forget. We don't forget. We might choose not to and say we forgot. Oh, I forgot. Yeah. No, we don't forget. We're diligent about that. You might put it off. You're a little nervous. The number will go up. Or perhaps you hit a plateau and don't want to see the same number again. That's the ostrich effect in human nature. Now, if you go to a WW workshop, you could have a no weigh-in. Now, international, I think you could have several. When I was at the franchise, it's like you could have one every year. But she said she'd rather not see us stress about it. She says if you feel that bad, or you've eaten so much you can't see that number, you take a no weigh in. And if that's what helps you and gets you back on track, That's what helps you. It's your journey. It's how you deal with it. And we all deal with it differently. You know, I'm beyond the scale at this point. And it's hard to get to that point, but being on plan for so long, I know what I do right and I know what I do wrong. And I know that that scale doesn't always reflect. And especially being at the weight I am, I'm not always going to see a loss. I'm not. And I'm okay with that. I am. It took me a long time to be okay with that, but I am. And I think when you're in a positive mindset, good things happen. So don't let the scale scare you. And we have to look at the non-scale things and other ways to measure our success. Like I say, get measurements of your body, your hips, your waist, your bust, your arms, your thighs. Look at an old picture, compare a current picture, look at the difference in your face and your neck. You will see it. And then that's what keeps you going. And you know what? That's what Dish with D is here for. That's what community is here for. We are here. If you're having a bad weigh-in, you come and you post it in our Facebook group. And somebody, I promise you, will be there to help you out. So let's get to tasting. I'm so excited about this. I'm so happy that, and like I said, I was happy with the price point because I always say WW is expensive stuff. And I'm happy that they're 4 points. And I'm also happy that there's 20 grams of protein. That's a hard one because Built Bars don't always have 20. Bear Bells do. It's a nice size bar. Because you know me, size matters. It just does. All right. So we got 2 of them. They only have 2 so far. Like I said, they're $8.99 and you get how many? 4. And I got them in my WW workshop. So this is them. Okay, I'm going to compare them. Haven't have a Built Bar here. Look at that. Look at that. So yeah, let's see what this gives you the weight. 55 grams. That's a nice size. They are 200 calories. Let's look at the nutritional information on the box. You can see to the fudge brownie first. That's the blue box. They're 200 calories, 7 grams of total fat, 3 grams of saturated fat, 21 grams of carbohydrates, 8 grams of fiber, 3 grams of total sugar, includes 2 grams of added sugars, and 20 grams of protein. So you can look at that if you want to see. And somebody's going to ask me what it's sweetened with, and I really can't say. Contains, I can't read it. I'm going to assume that there's almond butter in this one. All right, let's try the fudge brownie first. Sorry about that. Bad camera angle, Steve. Ooh, there's nuts on top. Look at that. I like the nuts. So it is a nice, let's compare it to a Built Bar. Because, you know, that's what you're going to ask me. But I will tell you, this Built Bar only has, I think, 19 or 18 grams of protein. This is the peanut butter. This is my favorite. So that is a Built Bar. And this is the WW bar. So I think it's very comparable. It definitely weighs the same. All right, let's. Okay. I feel like there's little crunchies in here. I don't know if it's the nuts or there's little like Rice Krispies. It reminds me of chocolate pudding. The taste is chocolate, like snack pack pudding. That's what it reminds me of. The texture reminds me of a Quest bar. I like the nuts. It's a little dry. I don't hate it, but it reminds me a little bit of a Quest bar, but better tasting, much better tasting. I give it a 4 out of 5. It's pretty good. I'd probably buy them again. I would. I mean, are they my favorite bar? But I do like them. All right, let's taste that chocolate butterscotch. 190 calories, 6 grams of total fat, 3 grams of saturated fat, 22 grams of carbs, 8 grams of fiber, 3 grams of sugar, including 2 grams of added sugar, 20 grams of protein. Look at those. Oh. Okay. Now, my leader did not like these. She said, the brownie ones are better. And I'm like, I'm trying both. Because we all should decide for ourselves what we like. Because again, I say this all the time. Just because I like something, you might not, or, vice versa. You know what these remind me of? Those bars that I had a few weeks ago that reminded me of Rice Krispie bars. This is when I cut into that. That's how it reminded me. I like this one better. I'm glad I got it. Oh yeah. It's crunchy. I like the butterscotch on top. I do like this one better. Oh yeah. You see the texture? That's why I like them. I like texture in my bars. This one tastes less like a Quest and more like a almost like a Rice Krispies treat in a way, but denser. I'd give this one a 5 out of 5. I really like this one. And see, if I'd listened to her, I wouldn't have bought them. I would have only bought the chocolate. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to decide for myself. Yeah, it cost me another $9, but I'm so glad I did. So absolutely, these are a hit with me. This one, now that I like this, I would probably only buy this because I like this one much better. So I probably wouldn't buy this again because I like this one. Yeah, I like it. You gotta like butterscotch though. Definitely has that butter. Steve will love this. He will, because Steve is the butterscotch king. So these are awesome. Now I'm gonna, well, since we have the Built Bar open, if you didn't know, Built Bar is also having a 15% on-site sale. My code gets you 10% more, so it's 25%. This is the peanut butter. I wish they had this one this was their old bar that they discontinued. I love this bar. They run it every once in a while. It's my favorite bar. I mean, it's the dark chocolate that really, and this is, I think, 4 or 5 points. I don't remember. My favorite. Peanut butter chocolate. But chewy. This is crispy. Totally different texture. I should have grabbed that. All right. That was the meeting topic of the week. I hope you enjoyed this topic. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you enjoyed my tastings, let me know in the bottom. What do you think? Do you think you might want to go and order them on the WW website? I think they're having specials now. I'm not really sure. But it is on your app. Hit the hamburger on the upper left. Go to the bottom. It says WW Shop. That's where you shop for all your stuff. And that is it for me today. I hope you enjoyed. I think I already said that. We will dish tomorrow for What's the Cooking? There's a few things coming up tomorrow. I will see you then. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye, my lovelies. And remember, the scale will not define you. The scale will just guide you. I think that's what she said.